This is G. Ramesh Kalyan, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SNS College of Technology. The course code and the course name is 23 CSB 201, Object Oriented Programming. Unit 1, Introduction to Object Oriented Programming, and the topic is Command Line Arguments. So, general introduction about the Java as we saw in previous videos. So Java is a high level object oriented programming language. It was invented by James Gosling at Sun Microsystems, and later on it was been acquired by the Oracle Systems. So the main features of Java are the platform independence, security, and its performance. Also the Java is an open source system. So let's see about the command line arguments. So initially, what is a command line argument is, so it explains how to pass an argument to a Java program and access them without modifying the original program. So without changing the features or the programming codes of the original program, we can just pass the argument and get the output for the particular arguments. And the second point is all about, we can pass n number of arguments to the program without changing this main structure of the program. So exploring the command line arguments in Java, so a small figure has been added to it. So first one, the main features of command line arguments are: first one, passing the arguments; second one, accessing the arguments; and third one is practical examples about the arguments. In the forthcoming slides we will be seeing this in detail. So next one is how to use and why to use the command line arguments in Java. The first one is, it specifies the input files, and second one, it is used for setting the configuration options, and the third one is control execution flow. So command line arguments or values. So as we saw in previous thing, so command lines arguments are the values that are passed to the Java program, and then when it is executed from the command line or the terminal. So the main feature of this command line argument is, without changing the structure or the program, we can add the input and get the output approximately. So the Java program takes all the arguments what we give as a string process or an arguments and produces the output respectively. So how to pass an argument? So initially, like to pass an argument to the command line arguments to a Java program, we simply type them as program's name when executing it. So for example, when we are compiling a program, we are giving java c space filename.java, then running we are giving java space filename. So in this we'll be giving file name java space filename space argument 1 and space argument 2 and space argument 3 as it goes on. So we could see in the figure added to this slide. So initially, program execution process start with the typing the arguments, then like we are having separating the arguments using the single and double single spaces, and then receiving the arguments, finally processing the arguments, then we are having the output process and executing the Java with the arguments. So as we saw previously, we are just giving, so without modifying any code or the structure of the program, we are just giving java space filename space argument 1 and n number of arguments by dividing it with the single spaces. So as an example, we are having an example here. So if you have a Java program named myprogram.java, we can if we need to pass two arguments, then java space filename, that is my program, space argument 1 and space argument 2. In case if we need to pass 3 or 4 arguments, we will be adding respectively argument 1 space argument 2 space argument 3 and space argument 4. So by this process we can add n number of arguments as needed as a feature we could add in the program without modifying the code. So in an example diagram, so program name, then argument 1 space argument 2. So this is the general syntax or structure of giving an argument. So how it works? So we saw what is an argument, command line argument is, and how to use it and why to use it, and what are the features of command line arguments, and in this we'll be using how to use it. So as we saw it previously, so here the program Java program name is saved as program name. So Java program name space word 0 word 1. So word 1 0 and 1 indicates the arguments. So as the arguments takes it as a string, and where to add this and where this process has been carried out in the particular step in a program is in the main function, that is the public static void main, we will be adding as string args of or else string of args. So this is the line where we are going to pass the arguments. So as the arguments are taken as string, it is given as string arguments of. And next line, the syntax and structure. So this slide explains the syntax and structure of the arguments, command line arguments. So as we saw previously, it is used in the line public static void main of string args. So as the input is taken as a string, then with the single space we can add a different number of arguments. So an example, so in this program we have given as java space my program, as the my program is the file name, java space my program space Alice space 25. So in this case Alice is argument 0 and 25 is argument 1. So as I said in the previous slides, so we can add n number of arguments. In this case, the index value of the argument starting with 0. So the first argument will be argument 0, the second one will be 1, and third one will be 2. So this is structure in the case of having the arguments in the program. So this is a simple example. Public class, the class name is multi args, and we are giving the strings of args, and we are having the function like args.string of length. Then we are having for loop. Then we need to pass like 3 arguments. So java space multi args space Alice, Bob, and Charlie. So Alice 1 is argument 1, 2, and 3. So when including the index value, it becomes as argument 0, 1, and 2. Thank you.